Good morning, Pastor. How are you
Good morning.
doing?
I'm very good.
Amazing. We have a question that was sent in, and it reads, I'm currently going through a financial hardship. Am I obligated to give?
I'm currently going through a financial hardship. Am I obligated to give? Go to Mark, the book of Mark. Mark chapter 12, verse 41 through 44. Okay, it says, And Jesus sat over against the treasury and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury, and many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. And he called unto him his disciples, and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. Wow. Than everyone that cast into the treasury. I didn't even see that like that before. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living. Somebody say, even all her living. Now, is the scripture telling you is the Bible telling you, every week to bring in all that you have and just throw it into the offering basket, or go on the website online and just give everything you have? Absolutely not. Okay. It almost seems like the scripture here is emphasizing the heart of this woman, the heart posture of this woman. It's like Jesus is more focused on her heart posture than the amount that she's actually given, right? Because if he was focused on the amount, then he wouldn't have said that she gave more than everybody else that had given that day. So imagine there were a lot of rich people giving that day, and here comes a very poor woman with the little she has. And Jesus seems to make an emphasis not on what she has given, but on what she has left. It is almost as though Christ is pointing at her trust in God's ability to provide for her. In God's ability, not even God's ability, but trusting in God when it comes to her finances. When you're in difficulty, remember this, that giving is not an obligation. It's an invitation. It's an invitation from God. It's an invitation for generosity. Yeah, I don't really have much going on for myself right now. I don't have this, I don't have that. Whatever you make your priority, you cater to. So if giving to God is a priority to you, you'll find ways to cater to that. I'll give you an example. I remember in a place called Maplewood, Minnesota. There was a church there where, we'll attend church conferences. They always host conferences. Well, they were raising an offering after the service. And I remember I had no cash on me. I had no money. It wasn't like I didn't bring cash. You know that thing where you ever gone to eat before and everybody, they're trying to pay the bill. You don't got nothing. You're like, but then it passes, you know what I mean? So it wasn't one of them situations where I was trying to look for my wallet or whatever. Like I really didn't have anything. Like in Nigeria, they say if you throw me up and throw me down, you wouldn't even hear coins fall out of my body. So it was one of them situations. I was at zero. And I began to think to myself that day, like, I can't leave church today without giving to God. It wasn't about, for me in that moment, it wasn't a horizontal thing. It was a vertical thing. It wasn't, I got to support this work. I got to support this. It was more so, I need to give to God today. I need to offer something up to God. I can't leave this place without giving something to God. And the message that day had to do with taking the gospel out, like people God was going to raise to bring the gospel, to different nations. And I really connected with that message. And let me tell you this, even if you don't connect with a message, you can still give unto the Lord. Okay? If not, it will mean that you're paying for what you just heard. Okay? So I remember that day I had these shoes. This is not an ad for DSW. but I went to DSW and I got these shoes, and they were my favorite shoes. I wear them on special occasions, and this conference was a special occasion. So I took off my shoes when they were passing out the offering buckets, and I gave the shoes. And the usher looked at me so weird, and I didn't care, because I wasn't giving to him, I was giving to God. Who cares what you think about me? I know where I'm going. I know what my tomorrow will look like. I know what God has for me. I don't care about your judgments that you cast on me today. So my 2 mites were my shoes that day, a pair of shoes, you know? And let me tell you this, after I had given this thing, way later on, the Lord gave me this scripture about the blessed are the feet of those that bring the gospel. And I mean, so you know my testimony. We've gone to so many countries to preach Jesus, to talk about Jesus. It's as though the seed I gave that day is bearing fruit today. I mean, it is bearing fruit today. Nobody knew me then. People know me and my convictions and my passion when it comes to the gospel today. I wasn't paying for today. I was just giving unto God. But then there happened to be a testimony that came from that day. In hardships, we find time to find pleasure. Some of you were in families where, your parents went through divorce and, they really had nothing, and dad or mom had to make life fun. And, I remember hearing the story and this person was saying that dad made I think there's some called a dollar movie, a dollar theater. What was it? You pay $1 to go to the movies or whatever. And the dad made that so fun for them. So they were so excited to go to the dollar movies. Oh my gosh, we're going to go to the dollar movies today. Oh my, kids are not thinking, wait, what? It's just, they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about the pleasure. They're thinking about the fun that they're getting from that, right? So if you value the concept, the culture of giving to God, even in your hardships, you still will give to him. You still find time to eat in your hardship. So what about the things that fuel your soul? If it was valuable to you, then you take it seriously. God is not forcing you to give. There is no punishment that comes with not giving today. We're no longer in the old covenant. There is no punishment that comes with it. But listen to this. I was telling someone outside that the Old Testament was covenant focused. The New Testament is conviction focused. Because the main covenant in the New Testament is the covenant of the death of Jesus. Not our death, his death. So because of his covenant, we are now driven through convictions. What are your convictions? Your desires and your actions will usually mirror your convictions. Okay, so does that kind of answer your question? That question? Okay, so I have $1. I'm gonna still find something to give to God. Okay, cool. All right.